Welcome to Sisterly Sundays podcast, where faith, motivation, and sisterly love intertwine to empower women on their spiritual journey. Join us each week as we delve into heartfelt conversations and share inspirational stories that uplift and guide you through the challenges of life. I'm your host, Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires. Let's get into this week's message. Welcome to Sisterly Sundays podcast. I am your host, Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires, bringing you your dose of motivation and encouragement to get you through the week. Today's podcast is presented by Stronger Through Faith Media, helping you get your message to millions. Let's get into this week's message entitled Queen Sheniqua. I am certain many of you have seen the Bridgerton spinoff on Netflix called Queen Charlotte. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend that you do so. But in order to catch the full gist of all of Queen Charlotte, you may want to start at the beginning with the other two Bridgerton series so that you can fully digest the content of the character of Queen. My hat's off to the cast for yet another great portrayal in this Shonda Rhimes creation. Today, I'd like to subtly give my takeaways and revelations without spoiling the storyline for any latecomers. Today, I introduce you to Queen Sheniqua. It's not easy carrying the title. Many covet the title, but they don't know the cost. They don't know what you had to give up in order to reign. The people you had to leave behind, the places you had to move away from. It caused you to be uncomfortable. In fact, uncomfortability was the prerequisite. It even caused you to become unfamiliar with those who you knew. It caused you to have expectations and dread the unexpected all at the same time. The title grants you access to lands unseen. It gives you respect in many areas. But the title can make you cold. It can cause you to be so focused to the point where you are fixated on your role. It's all a great experiment. Will she fail? Will she lose? Or will she rise to the challenge? Will she produce? What quantity will she produce? Will she ever stop producing? Will she look the part? Will she crack under pressure? Is she too dominant? Is she too soft? Will she ever be so focused on her role that she can't see what's happening around her? She says she desires happiness, but it isn't the acclaim she seeks. She doesn't want to be alone, but she can't accept the company of just anyone. If you are called into her court, consider yourself privileged. Know that she can do without the yes men or the yes women. She's got enough of those who are innately drawn to her. when she is quiet? Do they take her quietness for weakness? Oh, but she's not quiet. It's simply the world around her is loud. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's going to be specific in her demands. Oh, you thought she would just accept anything? Happy with a piece of paper with some words on it? Oh, no, honey. She is about that paper. Pay her. You thought you could use her. You gave her a gift just so that you could remind her of it. You never imagined she would multiply it. You give her scraps and you think she ought to be grateful. Silly rabbit. She comes from wealth. Her father is rich in houses and land. Your daddy may be rich, but her daddy is rich as well. Money is not what makes her, it's the upbringing. And you can tell. You may have the house, but she has the heavens. She is forceful, yet gentle. Yet is a good thing. Yet says there is hope. Yet says God's not finished with her yet. In the end, she gets what she wants. But you forgot she is the queen. She is what she wants. From the beginning, middle, and the journeys in between, she always gets what she needs because she is the queen. Does she have to give up what she wants for that title? Is her only duty for the satiety of others? Does the world get to suck off of her, leaving her with nothing for herself? Should she allow her sacrifices to make her sick? Should the secrets silence her? She's learned to be aggressive to get what she wants. She's not a simpering little girl. She is the queen. She lives for the happiness and the misery of a great nation. Now, here are some lessons that you can learn from the queen. Lesson 1: your desire to be accepted by everyone will require you to try new things, go to new places, and dance outside of your comfort zone. Lesson number 2: you can be safe and secure even if you take your walls down. I know that's a hard one for many of you because we live this life in these boundaries. We live this life with this protective barrier up. But the good news is you can be safe and secure even if you take your walls down. Yes, Queen, come on and take those walls down. The walls you've built up around your heart, the walls you've built up around yourself. It's time to take the walls down. Lesson number 3: you must be strategic and willing to scale over walls if you have to. So always have a strategy in place. I heard the other day I read in a post, someone said that they only have a plan A because a plan B would mean that they don't trust the plan A. But in this season, we want to make certain that we have a full, thought out, laid out plan A. And guess what? Even in your plan A, you can have little secret passageways and loopholes that just in case something doesn't go as planned, it doesn't take you off the course. It doesn't mean that you're not still running and operating fully in plan A because you've created it to have space for you to grow. Come on, somebody. We running in plan A for the new year. We're running in plan A all year long. But we must make certain that we come in prepared with a strategy. Now, the next lesson. The next lesson, you must be willing to break barriers. Barriers can look like friendships, relationship, situationships, work relation. It could be any ship we talking about. We're not saying that you're going forth and you've got your hammer out and you're just breaking every wall you find, but you must at the very least be willing to break those barriers that have held you bound for far too long. Your next lesson, you will need to segregate yourself at times, not all the time, but at times. Being alone with your duties, being alone with your calling, being alone with your purpose, alone with your works. You have to learn how to take that quiet time for yourself. We know it as self-care, but it is all a part of the strategy. How do you know the strategy without the paper in front of you? It's because you sit with it. You meditate on it. You get it deep down into your soul. So no matter where you go, no matter where you are, the plan is still able to resonate. So whether you have the book with you, whether you have the files with you, whether you're walking with your fancy equipment, when you have the works, the purpose, when it's boldly identified, you can operate in it. So make certain in this season that you take the time to sit with the new you. Because everybody's not going to be able to tolerate the new you. You don't want to be on that list. You want to make certain that you are sitting alone with your thoughts, alone with God's plan for your life. It allows you to fully operate in your gifting. And remember, there is a massive price to pay to be royal. You have to decide, is it worth it to you? I say, all hail to the Queen. Thank you for listening to this week's message of Sisterly Sundays podcast. Be sure to follow, save, share this message with someone you know who it's time for them to reign in their authority. Be blessed. Are you loving this week's segment of Sisterly Sundays podcast? If so, subscribe and share this message with those who could use a little encouragement to get them through the week. Connect with me on all social media platforms at Sheniqua Inspires. The encouragement continues every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my podcast, The Black Girl Encourage Her. You know, the place where we are delivering the encouragement for everyone. We just so happen to do it from a Black girl's perspective. You can catch those episodes on my YouTube channel, Sheniqua Inspires. And don't forget to subscribe and share.